back to my channel. Probably should chew first. I hope you guys are having a wonderful fall so far. The weather has been glorious. I'm very excited to go to the park. I think that's where boyfriend and I are headed very soon. We have some sunshine, but it's breezy. We don't get very many days like this, I feel like, in the Midwest. It's just either grotesquely, miserably hot in the summer, or it just gets very cold and it's like 40 degrees and miserable. So we are gonna go to the park. He's gonna fish, I'm gonna read. I feel like you guys know the drill. Every reading vlog I feel like is like that. So for this week's book, actually I feel like it's gonna take me a lot less than a week to go through this one because it is very short, is Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford. It's been on my TBR for maybe a year or two. It sounds really good. The cover, I mean, I'm drooling over that cover. It's so autumnal and amazing. I'm gonna try to get a good picture of it today while I'm at the park for Instagram. So if you have never heard of this book before, I wanna say I did talk about it in, I think I did like an autumn TBR video, and I talked about it then, but if you missed that video and you don't know what this is about, it says it is a haunting story about an otherworldly young woman torn between her old way of life and the perilous delights of a new lover. It's hypnotic, propulsive, and unforgettable. Ada meets Samson after years of routine with only her father for company. Beings both more and less than human, Ada and her father live on the edge of a village, healing the illnesses of the people who live there. Samson is a town person, a cure, not a healer like Ada. Her father forbids their relationship, but Ada is enraptured with his strength, his laughter, even his secrecy. And yet she knows that something's gone wrong inside Samson, something she's not certain even she can cure. Of course, the blurbs on the back are giving it glowing reviews. People are saying it kind of sounds like a modern fairy tale, like it's got some roots in mythology or lore. I'm definitely curious to see what the whole more or less than human part is referring to. I want to say, like, my guess, and I literally have like nothing to go off of, but I want to say it would be cool if it was about vampires. I don't know, there's just something about this moody cover that makes me think vampires, but I'm probably totally wrong. We'll see. Welcome back to Vlogtober, and let's get reading. Got it.
This is the simplest way I like to catch fish. This is called a Texas rig. You hook it right there on the head.
Mm-hmm.
You bring it around like that. Pop it. A lot of these hooks, they have a little shelf right there where it'll sit there. And then you do this, you kind of measure it up. and then you do it to the contour of the hook, like that. So then it lays straight, and you got that wiggle action right there.
Wiggle action.
To make it weedless, you barely hook the skin right there. That way your barb and your hook
Oh,
doesn't get
clever.
in the weeds.
Very clever.
And you got that.
Fishing 101. Thanks, John. hope that you can see me in this low light. My camera doesn't always perform the best when it's dark, so hopefully you can see me. I wanted to give my little review of Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford while it's fresh on my mind. I literally just finished it before dinner. I just had a bite to eat and then one of those pumpkin cookies that I baked earlier. It's had a couple of minutes to stew in my brain, and I'm gonna take you through some of my notes. Overall, I loved it. I would give it 4.5 out of 5. I mean, it went by in a flash. I read it in 2 days. It's 200 pages about, so honestly, you could read it in one sitting. I loved it. There were no slow parts. It definitely kept me hooked the whole time. Rainsford has a very unique gift in giving you just enough information for you to want to keep reading. But she's still kind of like breadcrumbing you through the plot, if that makes any sense. Essentially, it follows Ada and her father. So Ada is a young woman. Her father is mentioned in the synopsis as to maybe be more or less than human. We don't really know. They live at the edge of a very small town. The thing that they do for work is to cure people. They don't even call the townspeople people, they call them cures with a capital C. That's just how they think of them. They can help with all sorts of things. It's very interesting the way that the healing is spoken about. Rainsford uses some really interesting kind of abstract ways to describe how Ada goes into their bodies. She sings. That's sort of the way that they cure. They will hum or they will sing. The townspeople come to them and then they put them to sleep, do their work, and then they wake up and pay them to go along their merry way. We definitely have some themes in here of sort of coming of age. Ada is very alone. She's spent many years at this house. She seems to maybe be aging slowly. I'm not sure if that was something I assumed or something I just barely picked up on. It's one of those situations where the townspeople kind of insinuate that Ada and her father have been there for a very long time, for as long as anybody can remember, and they've always kind of been the same age. Something I also thought was an interesting way of telling the story was there are chapters dispersed throughout the book that are from random townspeople's perspective, people who have been cured, and so you can kind of see Ada and her father through their eyes, which is really interesting. I will say you don't ever truly understand in so many words, it's never just straight up said what exactly they are, how this magical healing works, or what kind of creature Ada's father seems to be. We get some interesting descriptions about his bones stretching, something to suggest that he's maybe a wolf, some type of werewolf, but it's never actually explicitly said. So if you are someone who likes all of the answers to your questions kind of summed up at the end of the book, this may not be the book for you. I think that's the only reason why I knocked it half a star, is because you are a little bit unsatisfied. I feel like it could have been a little bit longer than 200 pages. It would have been nice to get maybe an extra 20, 50 pages, something like that, and Rainsford to have maybe explained a little bit more. I do like that it sort of keeps it mysterious. It certainly has a mysterious vibe to it, but yes, I do find myself a little bit feeling a little bit empty, a little bit searching for more, because nothing was really explained about that. There were a couple of little twists in there that I found interesting, nothing shocking, nothing that made me gasp out loud, but just little things that you hadn't realized they had done in the past and now are coming to fruition. Definitely lots of themes in here about girlhood and growing up. The choices that we make that can kind of haunt us later, so realizing that our actions have consequences, all against a backdrop of this very magical, mysterious healing ability that Ada has. It was kind of weird, but also I would say less romantic and more, the romance in here is definitely more just like in your face, a little bit more lust, I would say, than romance. I loved the writing. It was very clipped. There are no dialogue quotes. You get these very kind of short, choppy sentences at times, which I kind of thought maybe was indicative of Ada never having been traditionally schooled, because they seem to be in a very, very small town. So love the writing, the cover is gorgeous. It was a really fun fall read. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want to see next. Vlogtober is like halfway gone now, so I don't know what I'm gonna film next, so you guys leave me a comment and let me know what you want to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.